Young Thug, aka Thugger, as you know, has been on trial for YSL Records RICO charges. Him and 27 others were indicted in 2022, and the trial has been ongoing since November 2023. A member of YSL, Gunna, was on trial but took a plea deal to keep from being behind bars. Even though Young Thug is still fighting for his life, as he is deemed the mastermind behind the whole operation, it seems he might be getting out very soon.
Yeah, man, there have been a lot of updates as of now with this Young Thug trial, this YSL RICO trial. We're here to give you guys a little bit of information on these updates, and we're going to try to, give you guys some weekly updates, as many updates as possible, motions that are happening throughout this case, as well as just our key takeaways on where we're going, because it looks like this trial, as of now, how things are currently standing, is going to be going on for a while. So get comfortable, sit back, relax, enjoy the remainder of the show. The YSL RICO trial involving rapper Young Thug continues on Thursday. We know that defendants and attorneys are in the courtroom this week, and they'll be taking up motions and preparing material for when the jury returns and witness testimony continues. So the court is here to review relevant evidence that could be presented to jurors, including song lyrics, music videos, and social media posts. Essentially what they've been doing, just more information of what they've been doing. According to Judge Paige Whitaker, the jurors will return to court on Monday, August 26th, due to a previously scheduled break. These jurors, man, they really been going through it. And on Monday, the prosecution underwent mandatory training to review requirements about sharing of certain materials. Now, this is very, very important because prosecution, maybe they're getting a little anxious, they're getting a little impatient, and they may be incompetent because the training occurred due to defense allegations of error and prosecutorial misconduct. Materials describe any evidence favorable to the defendant in a criminal trial, which the prosecution must disclose. And for most of last week, we all are aware of Kenneth Copeland, better known as Lil Woody. He watched previous police interviews and gave testimony to prosecutors. There was a jail call between him and Young Thug that was played in court, and he has been considered a key witness before the trial. He has largely declined to answer any questions from prosecutors, often telling them that he doesn't recall events he was allegedly involved in, statements that he made, or even things that happened this current week within the court. It's become his calling card just to say that he doesn't recall, so much to the fact that he released a song called I Don't Recall. Jurors returned to the courtroom last Monday for the first time in nearly 2 months, and Judge Whitaker is now overseeing the case. This is because of the recusal saga with the prior judge, Judge Glanville. Earlier in August, he denied several motions for mistrial and to disqualify Fulton County prosecutors. Judge Glanville was removed after attorneys for Young Thug had argued that he should no longer oversee the case because of a June 10th proceeding known as Ex Parte that became the subject of deep contention within this trial. In her order, Judge Rachel Krause, who was assigned on the recusal matter, stated this court has no doubt that Judge Glanville can and would continue presiding fairly over this matter if the recusal motions were denied, but the necessity of preserving the public's confidence in the judicial system weighs in favor of excusing Judge Glanville from further handling this case. All in all, that just goes to say that his ass got to step down because people think that he corrupt. They think that him and the prosecuting is doing something behind closed doors. If you've seen some of his comments ongoing through this case, it has led some people that are Young Thug fans or Young Thug supporters to think that he can't be objective. So his ass had to step down. And with that, Brian Steele, Young Thug's attorney, he was held in contempt of court, sentenced to a 20-day jail sentence, and that got reversed after the state Supreme Court granted him bond. So there's been a lot of craziness going on with this case, and now we're just now getting back on track with this new judge. So CJ, I'm gonna kick it off to you, man. Based off of all of the motion, everything that's been going on with this trial, what are your key takeaways? Where are we going with this trial?
We're not going anywhere with this trial, man. This trial has been on forever, and it's like we're not really getting much progress. One big takeaway that I do have is that I do feel like the setup is unreal. This is like cakewalk. This is like a 2020 NBA Lakers postseason run, a 2024 Celtics run for Young Thug. It's too easy out here. It's really made for him to get out. All these variables, man, corruptness, his goons, like all this is set up for him to eventually get out. And honestly, it's making me question if he's smart or not, because he might be smart. or either that or he has connections. Because the amount of connections you have to have like all this shit pulled off to have basically a case delayed. Like it's Polo G's last album. Like it's been unreal to me. And hey man, I gotta get props where it deserves. You know, he's corrupt, and you know his people are corrupt, but he's getting away with it. So maybe he's doing something wrong, maybe he's not. But the future for young stoner life, it may be looking a little bright in my opinion, because they're getting away with so much shit. I think they probably can still run their business how they've been running it. This may just be like a little axe in the wagon, but I think they'll still recover from this, honestly. And Thug, the fans, we want Thug back. You know, our reason justified? No, I don't think so. I think we just want him back for the music. Honestly, you know, he makes great music. He's one of the greatest trap artists of all time. Honestly, you know, niggas say free R. Kelly. You know, I ain't really with that, but you know, free Thug's music at least. Like, I need some more new music, because business is business. Okay. Well, business wasn't really good. You know, Thug, with all the shit that's getting, you know, left behind with Woody, like, you know, when I heard that, I just laughed. Like, are you serious? Are you kidding me? Because it's something a troll would say. And, you know, you're in court and you're over here trolling like, you know, you're on Twitter, like it's, or X. It's like, it's insane to me. But otherwise, I think, you know, table is set for Young Thug. The future's looking bright for him, man. You know, that's a fucked up way of saying things, but it is what it is.
This trial may go down as one of the biggest wastes of time. I'm not gonna say in my lifetime. There've been a lot of wasted times out here, but yeah, it looks like Young Thug is gonna be free. I don't know. I think that's what I'm trying to figure out. I don't know if Young Thug is smart or dumb. I don't know. You know what it is? I don't know who's dumber, Young Thug or the prosecution, because you have the evidence laid out in front of you. Guys is getting on songs and just telling people what they're doing. Young Thug is telling us the crimes that he's committed. He's just being blatant. It's not like back in the day when Giuliani and those guys, they were booking those 5 families, the mafia, and they had to place wiretaps in people's houses to actually hear conversation. No, these guys are telling people what their crimes are in the music, tweeting about them, posting pictures on IG where they, you know, talking about their ops. It's so much information out here. Somebody can and have, they've made YouTube videos documenting Young Thug and YSL crimes. The evidence is just, so much evidence is out there. So I don't know what the prosecution is. I think they really dropped the ball. You didn't even have to have that meeting with the judge in closed quarters. Like, why are you doing that? You're just giving yourself a bad public outlook. So now you've lost, because as CJ said, the fans, they want Young Thug to be free because they love the music. But now you're giving them even more credence when you do things like that, and they're going to say, oh, well, you're corrupt. So the trial, we need to have a mistrial, because not only has the trial been going on for a very, very long time, but also the prosecution has shown that they're not trustworthy. So if you're not trustworthy, then what does that mean? You're going to lose the jury, because the jury is not going to vote in your favor if you're being untrustworthy. But I just think that this is a very big misstep by the prosecution, by the state of Georgia. I think the state of Georgia is incompetent. I also think that the state of Georgia is being paid off, because I've been hearing, and you know, maybe this is just hearsay, but I've been hearing that if new prosecution comes in or new judges come in, that they're going to grant a mistrial. But my thing is, if that is the objective, what are you really saying? Are you saying that because you just want the trial to be over, the case to be over? Or is Young Thug and his backing, are they paying these people off? It's just so much going on in this environment that I can't really comprehend. Me personally, I do think that Young Thug is guilty of these crimes. I'll just be honest. I don't give a damn about
the evidence is damning.
The evidence is, that's honestly what I'm saying. The evidence is damning. And so I thought that when I saw all these guys, and another weird thing about this trial is like all of the guys that were taking those plea deals, basically saying that, you know, YSL is a gang. We had so many people taking plea deals, like Lick and Gunna. All these guys are saying that it's a gang. And now you got these goofy ass niggas that are recusing their statements. Oh, no, it ain't no gang. I was just saying that. What are you talking about? Like, we literally got you saying it. Like, you just, it's like, what is wrong with the court system in the state of Georgia? So these rappers, they can acknowledge things and then go back on their statements, and there's no credit to it?
I think they found a loophole in the system, honestly. I think it's just a loophole in the system, and the state of Georgia, honestly, they should be ashamed of what they're doing, because just look at all these circumstances that have to go for this trial to be delayed. Dude, illnesses. You have jurors and lawyers getting arrested. You have stabbings. You're having removal of judges. Like, all these circumstances for this shit just to get delayed. It's really concerning, honestly. And honestly, they should be ashamed of themselves. I've never seen anything quite like it.
I have neither. I at this point, I have one reason for why I want the trial to end, so we can get that Netflix docuseries. Because y'all know,
it would be legendary. It would be legendary.
Exactly. Because remember that Amber Heard Johnny Depp, that situation didn't take place that long ago, and it was on Netflix real quick. So I think if this trial can wrap up right now, we can get that docuseries and we can actually hear everything that was going on behind closed doors. Because it's just a wild goose chase at this point. It's just a wild ass goose chase. And Young Thug, every time I see a picture or a video of Young Thug, he just smirking, he just smiling, because he knows he's finna get off. Because think about it, even if he gets some type of sentencing, he's been in jail for a good little minute, so he's gonna get time served. Young Thug is not gonna see a lot of time, if any at all, because when they get that mistrial, they're not gonna bring him back. They're not gonna bring him back, as he just said. They're gonna continue to do what they've been doing. He's gonna continue to get away with, we're gonna be honest, committing heinous crimes, murders, mass murders. A lot of people have gotten got due to Young Thug putting that hit out or committing that on his own. And in my opinion, that's like my biggest problem with the Young Thug situation, is the fact that we always talk about, black on black crime. And we know that in places like Atlanta, the slumps, Young Thug is a guy that has made it, but he's still going back to his community. He's basically being a demon in his own community. And it's like all these guys, they come out and they talk about how much they love their people, but you don't, because look at what you're doing. You're just causing destruction and confusion and disillusionment. And guys like that, I believe, need to be locked away and put away, because you have so many resources. Young Thug is basically king of Atlanta. He owns it. YSL, they running shit. They a known commodity. Niggas don't fuck with them. And that's just going to continue to happen if this guy is thrown back into the streets. It's sad, man. Is the music gonna be good? Yeah, music gonna be good. But we also gonna see a lot more dead bodies out on the street. A lot more dead bodies on the pavement. A lot of mothers crying on Atlanta news, local news, crying about their son getting murdered. And what they gonna say? They gonna say that slap. They gonna say that YSL did it to them.
It sounds like a Julio Fulio and King Von situation with their mothers.
It's very similar to that situation.
Even though they're really bad mothers, but they don't take accountability for the actions and the face that they had on their sons. They're still kind of crying this day about what happened to their sons when they knew what was going on and they let it go. So honestly, it seems like that situation to me. And Atlanta's in a really bad place right now with all the gang warfare down there. They're almost kind of as bad as New Orleans or Chicago, in my opinion.
I agree. And to cap the video off, man, we're ramping up. We're getting closer to that election time, getting closer to November. I have one question. Kamala Harris, how you gonna solve all this black on black violence? I need answers now. I need answers right now. Because look at this shit that's going on. We have a known criminal, a known gang leader is about to get off. Is that justice? I don't think so.
Absolute justice.